Stop right there. You think you understand power? You think reading a few quotes makes you strategic? You think knowing Machiavelli's name means you know his methods? You're wrong. Most people who reference Machiavelli have never understood what he actually taught. They see him as evil or immoral. They miss the point entirely. Machiavelli wasn't teaching evil, he was teaching reality. 500 years ago, this man figured out exactly how power works. Not how it should work, not how we wish it worked, how it actually works. He watched leaders rise and fall. He studied empires built and destroyed. He analyzed every move in the game of power, and he wrote it all down. Today, his lessons are more relevant than ever because human nature hasn't changed. The same strategies that worked in Renaissance Italy work in modern boardrooms, political campaigns, and personal conflicts. Here's what most people don't understand. Machiavelli wasn't advocating for cruelty. He was advocating for effectiveness. He wasn't promoting immorality. He was promoting realism. His question was never, what's the nice thing to do? His question was always, what actually works? And the answers he found make most people uncomfortable because they expose how the world really operates versus how we pretend it operates. But before we unlock his 21 laws, let me be crystal clear. This knowledge is a weapon. Weapons can be used for protection or aggression. Use these laws to defend yourself, advance your legitimate interests, and navigate power dynamics effectively. Don't use them to harm innocent people or pursue purely selfish ends at others' expense. The difference between strategic wisdom and destructive manipulation is intention and application. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose strategic power over comfortable delusions. Before we continue, if you're ready to understand how power actually works instead of how you wish it worked, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell. And tell me in the comments, have you ever seen someone use Machiavellian tactics successfully? What happened? Share your observations below. Now let's unlock Machiavelli's 21 laws of power. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel superior. Let them take credit for your ideas. Make them look good even at your expense. When you make superiors feel threatened by your brilliance, they will find ways to diminish you. When you make them feel enhanced by your service, they will elevate you. This isn't about being weak. This is about being strategic. The person who appears less threatening rises higher because they don't trigger defensive reactions from those in power. Think about this in practice. You have a brilliant idea that could transform your organization. The naive approach is presenting it as your genius insight. Your boss feels threatened by your innovation and finds reasons to reject it or claim it. The strategic approach is framing it as building on their vision or implementing their principles. Your boss feels validated by your insight and champions it enthusiastically. Same idea, different outcome, based purely on whether you threatened or enhanced their ego. Law 2. Never trust too much in friends. Learn to use enemies. Friends become complacent. They take you for granted. They believe they deserve your loyalty without earning it continuously. Enemies stay sharp. They're trying to prove themselves. They're working to convert your opposition. A converted enemy is often more loyal than a lifelong friend because they're still earning your trust. Machiavelli understood that today's friend becomes tomorrow's betrayer when interests diverge, while today's enemy becomes tomorrow's ally when interests align. Smart strategists focus on interests, not relationships. Consider a practical example. You need someone for a critical project. Your friend volunteers, but their recent work has been mediocre. Your former rival also wants the opportunity. The emotional choice is the friend. The strategic choice might be the rival who's hungry to prove themselves and change your opinion. Relationships matter, but results matter more. Sometimes enemies produce better outcomes than friends. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. The moment people know what you're planning, they can prepare against it. When your goals are obvious, opposition organizes. When your methods are visible, countermeasures develop. Strategic concealment isn't lying. It's simply not revealing information that serves your opponents more than you. Machiavelli watched leaders who announced their plans get systematically blocked. He watched leaders who concealed their intentions until execution succeed repeatedly. In negotiations, this means never revealing your maximum price, your real deadline, or your lack of alternatives. In competitions, this means not telegraphing your strategy until you're executing it. In conflicts, this means never announcing your attack before striking. The element of surprise is valuable only if you maintain it. Once people know what's coming, surprise is gone and advantage disappears. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Words are traps. The more you say, the more you reveal. The more you reveal, the more ammunition you give opponents. Powerful people are often silent people. They listen more than they speak. They observe more than they explain. When they do speak, their words carry weight because they're rare. Machiavelli understood that silence creates mystery and mystery creates power. The person whose thoughts are known is predictable. The person whose thoughts are unknown is dangerous. Watch powerful people in meetings. They often say very little. They ask questions and listen to answers. They absorb information while giving little away. Then when they do speak, everyone listens because their input is valuable and infrequent. Meanwhile, people who talk constantly are often ignored because their words are cheap and plentiful. Law 5. Guard your reputation as life itself. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. One good reputation opens countless doors. One bad reputation closes them permanently. Machiavelli saw that reputation often matters more than reality. A reputation for strength makes you strong even when you're weak because people don't test you. A reputation for weakness makes you weak even when you're strong because people constantly challenge you. Protect your reputation ruthlessly. Attack threats to it immediately. Build it strategically through visible actions that create the perception you want. This means managing not just what you do, but what people believe about what you do. It means responding decisively to anyone who damages your reputation. It means understanding that perception shapes reality and power dynamics. Your reputation precedes you into every room and determines how people treat you before you say a word. Law 6. Create compelling spectacle. Bold gestures and dramatic symbols capture attention and create power. Ordinary actions create ordinary responses. Extraordinary actions create extraordinary impact. Machiavelli observed that leaders who understood theater maintained power more effectively than leaders who relied solely on substance. This doesn't mean all flash and no substance. It means presenting substance in ways that maximize impact through spectacle. Think about product launches. Apple doesn't just release new phones. They create events that feel historic. The product might be incrementally better than the previous version, but the spectacle makes it feel revolutionary. Political candidates don't just present policy. They create moments that capture imagination and emotion. The same principle applies personally. How you present your achievements matters as much as the achievements themselves. Law 7. Make others work for you. Never do yourself what others can do for you. Your time and energy are finite resources. Every task you perform personally is a task someone else could have performed, freeing you for higher value activities. Machiavelli watched leaders who did everything themselves burn out and fail. He watched leaders who built systems and delegated wisely build empires. The ability to use others' time and talents multiplies your capacity exponentially. This doesn't mean exploiting people. It means understanding that your unique value lies in strategy, decision-making, and activities only you can do. Everything else should be delegated to people who can do it well. The leader who insists on personally handling routine tasks is wasting their most valuable resource, their strategic attention. Law 8. Make people come to you. When you go to others, you operate on their territory, under their conditions. When others come to you, they operate on your territory under your conditions. This physical principle has psychological implications. The person who controls the space controls the dynamic. Machiavelli understood that masters make others come to them. Servants go to others. Position yourself so opportunities come to you rather than chasing opportunities. In negotiations, this means not appearing desperate or overly eager. In relationships, this means being valuable enough that others pursue you. In business, this means creating offers so compelling that customers come to you rather than you chasing customers. The shift from pursuer to pursued changes everything about power dynamics. Law 9. Win through actions, not argument. Arguments create resistance. People's egos become invested in their positions. Even when you win an argument logically, you often lose practically because the other person resents being proven wrong. Actions demonstrate superiority without triggering ego defense. Machiavelli saw that showing beats telling, demonstrating beats debating. When you prove your point through results rather than rhetoric, opposition crumbles without direct confrontation. Instead of arguing your idea is better, implement it on a small scale and let results speak. Instead of debating your capability, demonstrate it through performance. Instead of convincing people you're right, show them through outcomes. Actions bypass ego defense mechanisms that arguments trigger. Law 10. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Emotional states are contagious. Misery seeks company and spreads like disease. Unlucky people create unlucky situations through their mindset and decisions. Machiavelli observed that associating with troubled people brings trouble. This sounds harsh until you recognize the reality. You absorb the energy and mindset of people you spend time with. Chronic complainers make you negative. Perpetual victims make you helpless. Consistently unlucky people involve you in their cascading failures. This doesn't mean abandoning people in genuine crisis. It means avoiding people whose default state is misery and whose pattern is failure. Choose associations strategically. Surround yourself with people whose energy elevates you, whose mindset strengthens you, and whose trajectory inspires you. Law 11. Make people dependent on you. Independence gives people freedom to abandon you. Dependence binds them to you through necessity. Machiavelli understood that the person who is needed has power over those who need them. This doesn't mean making people helpless. It means becoming so valuable that your removal would create significant problems. Make yourself the person with critical knowledge others lack. Become the connector between important parties. Develop the skill that solves problems others can't solve. When people depend on you for outcomes they need, they protect and elevate you because your success is necessary for their success. This creates sustainable power because it's based on mutual benefit rather than just your position or authority. Law 12. Disarm through selective honesty and generosity. One sincere gesture of honesty or generosity can disarm the most suspicious person. Machiavelli understood that strategic vulnerability creates trust. When you're honest about something difficult or generous when not required, people lower their guard. This isn't manipulation if your honesty and generosity are genuine. It's understanding that these actions have power beyond their immediate effect. They create psychological impact that opens doors and eliminates resistance. The key is selective. Don't be honest about everything or generous constantly. Choose moments where honesty or generosity will have maximum impact. That selectivity makes these gestures memorable and powerful rather than expected and taken for granted. Law 13. Appeal to self-interest, never mercy or gratitude. People are motivated by what benefits them, not by what they owe you. Machiavelli saw that appeals to mercy fail because mercy requires the other person to sacrifice their interests for you. Appeals to gratitude fail because gratitude is a weak motivator compared to self-interest. When you need someone's cooperation, show them how it serves their goals. When you need someone's support, demonstrate their benefit. Frame everything in terms of their interests, not your needs. This transforms requests from, "Please help me," to "This opportunity benefits you." The first requires them to be charitable. The second requires them to be rational. Most people respond better to rational self-interest than to charitable appeals. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Information is power. The more you know about others, the more advantage you have. The less others know about you, the better. Machiavelli understood that friendly environments make people unguarded. When people see you as friend, not threat, they reveal information they'd otherwise conceal. This doesn't mean betraying genuine friendships. It means recognizing that in competitive environments, friendly demeanor gives you access to valuable intelligence. Ask questions, listen carefully, remember details, use information strategically. The person who appears non-threatening while gathering information operates with massive informational advantage over people who telegraph their competitive intentions and get filtered information as a result. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. Machiavelli's most controversial law. If someone is truly your enemy, half measures create ongoing problems. Injure them slightly, and they recover stronger and more determined. Crush them completely, and the threat ends permanently. This doesn't mean physical harm. It means when you're in genuine conflict with someone who's demonstrated they're an enemy, don't stop until their ability to harm you is eliminated. Remove their power, their position, their credibility, whatever resource they use against you. Most people are too merciful with enemies. They wound them enough to create resentment, but not enough to eliminate threat. This guarantees future problems. Either don't engage enemies at all, or engage them so decisively that they can't retaliate. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much presence diminishes you. Constant availability makes you common. Strategic absence makes you valuable. Machiavelli observed that scarcity creates value while abundance destroys it. When you're always there, people take you for granted. When you're selectively present, people appreciate your time. This applies to physical presence, availability, communication, and attention. Don't be constantly available. Create space and absence that make your presence more impactful. Leaders who are always accessible become background noise. Leaders who are strategically available command attention whenever they appear, because their presence is an event, not a constant. Law 17. Keep others in suspense through unpredictability. Predictable people are controllable people. When your patterns are known, your responses anticipated, your limits understood, others can manipulate you easily. Unpredictability creates power because people can't prepare against you. Machiavelli saw that strategic unpredictability keeps opponents off balance. Sometimes generous, sometimes demanding. Sometimes visible, sometimes absent. Sometimes forgiving, sometimes ruthless. This variability prevents people from gaming your behavior. The key is strategic unpredictability, not random chaos. Your actions should be unpredictable to others but aligned with your strategy. You're deliberately varying your approach to prevent others from exploiting your patterns. Law 18. Build fortresses of power, but don't isolate yourself. Fortresses are tempting. High walls protect you from threats, but they also isolate you from information and allies. Machiavelli understood the paradox. You need protection without isolation. Build your defenses, but maintain connections. Create boundaries, but stay networked. Develop your base of power, but don't retreat into it. The leader in an impenetrable fortress becomes irrelevant. The leader with strong position but extensive connections stays powerful. This means having a secure base, loyal team, and protected resources while maintaining visibility, relationships, and information flow. Protection without isolation. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. One approach doesn't work with everyone. Different people respond to different strategies. Machiavelli observed that effective strategists adapt their tactics to the person they're dealing with. Some people respect strength. Others respond to kindness. Some people value directness. Others prefer subtlety. The strategist who uses one approach universally fails frequently. The strategist who adapts approach to audience succeeds consistently. This requires studying people before engaging them. What motivates them? What threatens them? What do they value? What do they fear? This information determines your approach. Law 20. Don't commit to anyone completely. Total commitment to any person or group creates vulnerability. When you're fully committed, you have no leverage. You can't threaten to leave because everyone knows you won't. You can't explore alternatives because you foreclose them. Machiavelli understood that maintaining some independence, some alternatives, some uncommitted capacity creates negotiating power. This doesn't mean being disloyal. It means not becoming so dependent on any single relationship that you lose all bargaining power within it. Keep options open. Maintain alternative relationships. Don't put all resources into one basket. This flexibility is power because it means you can always walk away if terms become unacceptable. Law 21. Play the perfect courtier. Master the art of indirection. Never seem to be working for your own interests. Make your ambition seem like service. Make your self-promotion seem like modesty. Make your manipulation seem like helpfulness. Machiavelli observed that obvious self-interest triggers resistance. Disguised self-interest accomplishes goals. The perfect courtier appears to serve others while actually advancing themselves. They seem humble while building power. They appear generous while creating obligation. This is the ultimate integration of all previous laws. It's operating strategically while appearing natural. It's pursuing power while seeming to serve. It's advancing yourself while helping others advance. The perfect courtier makes power moves that look like anything but power moves. You've just learned Machiavelli's 21 laws of power. But here's what separates people who know these laws from people who use them. Application. Most people learn these principles and do nothing. They recognize the laws in others' behavior, but don't implement them personally. They're observers, not players. The question is, which are you? Here's your immediate action. Choose 3 laws from these 21 that you're currently violating. Maybe you outshine your boss regularly. Maybe you trust friends too much. Maybe you talk too much. Maybe you're too available. Identify 3 laws you're breaking. Then implement 1 change for each law this week. Just 1 small change per law. Stop taking credit in front of your boss and let them shine. Stop telling your friend everything and keep some things private. Stop explaining yourself in every situation and practice strategic silence. 3 small changes implementing 3 laws will start shifting your power dynamics immediately. You'll notice people responding differently. You'll feel more control. You'll see results from strategic behavior that you never saw from natural behavior. But remember the crucial ethical boundary. These laws are tools for navigating competitive environments and protecting yourself in power dynamics. They're not licenses for cruelty, betrayal, or harming innocence. Use them to advance legitimate interest while maintaining ethical boundaries. The person who uses Machiavellian tactics without conscience becomes a tyrant who eventually falls. The person who uses these tactics strategically within ethical bounds becomes powerful and sustainable. The real genius of Machiavelli wasn't teaching people to be evil. It was teaching people to see reality clearly. Most people lose not because they're less capable, but because they're playing by rules others ignore. They're bringing fairness to power struggles where only strategy matters. They're being authentic in environments where perception matters more than reality. These 21 laws aren't about becoming worse. They're about becoming effective. When you understand how power actually works, you stop being confused about why good people often lose and strategic people often win. You stop being surprised when merit isn't rewarded and perception is. You stop being disappointed when fairness fails and ruthlessness succeeds. You see the game clearly. Then you can decide how you want to play it. You can play strategically and win. You can play ethically and accept limited success. Or you can find the balance, playing strategically within ethical boundaries to maximize success without sacrificing integrity. That balance is where sustainable power lives. If this video opened your eyes to how power actually works, hit that like button right now. If you want more brutal truth about strategy and human nature, subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell. Drop a comment and tell me, which of these 21 laws surprised you most? Which one do you see most often in powerful people around you? Which one are you going to start implementing first? Your answer might help someone else understand these dynamics. Until next time, remember this truth. Machiavelli didn't create these laws. He observed them. They operated before he wrote them, and they operate still. The only question is whether you'll understand them and use them, or remain ignorant and be used by those who do. Knowledge is power only when you use it. Stop being naive. Start being strategic. Master the game.